What's up, everybody? Welcome to the FOMO Factory. Happy Saturday. Hope you're enjoying your day. When to buy altcoins? Let's dive right into that. So I'm a big proponent of not buying altcoins right now because so far we've been saying that for a couple of months, and so far I'm pretty happy that I didn't do that because a lot of altcoins still put in new lower lows, especially against their Bitcoin pair. And probably people are quite sick of hearing that. You want to know when to buy them. Well, yeah, sorry, as long as the market doesn't allow us to buy it yet, I can talk about buying them, but I can give you my thoughts on it on when it does seem like the best time. And in the meantime, I also will show you the charts and the data and all of that you can use for yourself as well to look at, so you don't have to depend on stupid Dutch YouTubers, of course. So let's take a look. First, when to buy Bitcoin. Let's talk about that first. So there are a couple of things that I feel like this is interesting to take a look at. So if you want to buy Bitcoin, which is at the moment quite smart, if you ask me, then I would feel like, okay, Bitcoin, we had our run from 15.5K to 31K, and we're now sitting at 27, right? Is that a big correction? Just look at it like that. Nothing too crazy. Is that the big correction? Not really, right? Not really, in my opinion. So that's one. Two, stochastic RSI on the weekly. So if you go to your trading view and you go to indicators, just fill in STOCH and you'll find here stochastic RSI pops this up. It's a momentum indicator, and it's very simple. Whenever it's sitting at high levels, it's oversold or it's overbought, so you do not want to buy them, right? Whenever it's sitting at these low levels, it's pretty oversold, so then you might want to buy. It's usually for trading, although this is a quite high time frame, because if you bought right here, yeah, you bought it when it was low, of course, but still we went lower later, right? So it's like, yeah, if you want to get your dollar costings in, then maybe just wait for these levels, right? Now, we are now on our way down, and you usually see on our way down, we have a long way to go, right? It's like, yeah, that's just what it is. So wait for that. But also Bitcoin, yeah, if I just look at the big resistance levels and the support levels by this chart, yeah, I don't like, yeah, the 26.5K is a big support level. But if we do break that, then I feel like, okay, 25, give or take, right? 25.5. That's where we had resistance over here. It's where we had resistance over here. That's where the bull market support band currently comes in. So that's a pretty huge level. I do, however, think that we will go lower and we will revisit 2022, give or take. It should be reasonable, maybe even lower than that. So I'm gonna wait a little bit on that. Also, if you look at this, I mean, we had like 1, 2, 3, 4 green candles in a row on the monthly time frame. We are now creating, I mean, the month still has a lot of days in it. We can go anywhere, but you know, shouldn't we also have some red candles this year? Like, it's not like especially in a non-bull market, we don't typically have like 5, 6, 7 green candles in a row. Or typically that never happened. Basically, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, well, 5 here, right? But not more than that, right? So we need some red months as well. So that's also something that I feel like, okay, let that play out a little bit. Now, a very important chart that you should use if you want to buy altcoins is the total 3. Now, you're probably freaking sick of me saying this all the time, but altcoins, when to buy altcoins, it's what I mainly want to talk about. Well, this chart is my leading indicator, right? Because Bitcoin was in the same pattern. Bitcoin was also in a falling wedge, and Bitcoin broke out of that wedge, retested, and that made us pump, right? That went for the second leg of this pump, basically. The first leg took us to the upside of the wedge. We broke out finally, retested, and the second pump really pumped us. The problem is, however, the total 3 did not do that yet. So the total 3, we had that pump, yes, but the difference is it took us to the upside of the wedge, but we got a rejection instead of a breakout. So what could give us that second pump right now? I mean, Bitcoin broke out 4 months ago. Altcoins did not do that yet. So as long, again, if we as long as we are still in that falling wedge, I feel like, okay, trend is your friend till the end of it. Well, the end is not there yet. So in that case, I will say, okay, we go here, right? Or here, depends on when that's playing out, right? So I'm gonna wait for that. That's when, like, I'm not buying altcoins right now. I'm not buying at resistance. Right? Yeah, you could look at your individual altcoins, but guess what, homie? If you have an individual altcoin that you somehow feel like, oh, but this is an exception, bro. If this thing goes down, then your favorite altcoin will get completely destroyed as well. Right? There's always an exception, maybe, but overall, you don't want to gamble on the fact that there might be 10 altcoins out of the hundreds of thousands that will do fine. Right? And if you want to take that risk, take that risk. But that's not what I'm doing, at least. Right? So I'm waiting to see how this plays out. And time is kind of running out, right? Because the only thing that is giving us support right now is this horizontal right here. We have big support over here, big support over here, resistance over here, huge support right now, right? But then again, this diagonal line is giving us the same strength, but then in resistance. Well, beginning of June, they will come together and we're going to see who the biggest, who the strongest is, right? And until then, I don't want to I don't want to fuck around with it, because if we do go down, then I can buy there. If we do break out, I'm gonna wait for the retest and then buy, right? So we don't miss out anyway, right? So there's no point of buying right now. It doesn't make any sense. And if you do feel like, yeah, it does make sense, please give me a reason. But like, again, if you feel FOMO, if you feel like, oh yeah, but I don't want to miss out on this, overall altcoins, if they break out, they retest, like just exactly like Bitcoin did as well, right? I mean, we broke out, retest, right? We even, if you put it on the daily chart, broke out, retest here, broke out again, got up again, second retest. So you even got a second chance and you got in lower. You could have bought at 20K instead of 21.2, while there were also people buying right here 22.5 with the risk of not having a breakout, right? So here you could have bought higher with more risk, so higher risk, low reward, and here you can buy low risk, high reward, right? For the altcoin market, it goes the same thing, right? There were also people buying here. And here you had these people on YouTube saying alt season, right? And then we came down. Like, okay, where's your alt season, bro? Wait, it's not an alt season. Please don't talk people into that. And there's one YouTuber that I'm quite mad at, by the way, because he's really messing up his audience. But I'm not going to talk about that. You probably know who I mean. Anyway, that's a very good indication for me when to buy altcoins. So this is my leading chart, basically. So yeah, that's that. Then another chart, which is very important, is the Bitcoin dominance. And you might feel like, yeah, but you can trade this, right? So why pay attention to this chart? Well, this chart is very important because it shows you how much Bitcoin is dominating the crypto space compared to other assets like stables and altcoins. Now, the thing is that the Bitcoin dominance, it looks relatively very strong, right? Talked about this a lot as well. We've been ranging here between 39 and 49%, give or take, for 2 years, exactly 2 years, May 2021, right? Now, every time we got there, we stayed there for a few days, got rejected. Got there, not even, rejected. Got there, 2 days, rejected, maybe 3, rejected, right? We are now in this area for like 2 months. And plus we got all these moving averages working in our benefit as well, right? If we look at the weekly time frame, you'll see that every time we went there, Here we got rejected by the bull market support band. Here we got rejected by the 50 weighted moving average. Here we got above the 100, but still we got rejected by the horizontal. Here we now have all these moving averages far below us, right? Plus we are now looking to find support. First, the 200 weighted moving average was resistance, as you can see right here. We had some trouble, right? We knocked on it, got down, tried again, got down. Here we had a fake out, but it turned out that it was resistance as well. This week we tried again, got down, and then we broke it. And now we have support, right? So one little push for Bitcoin to the upside, and this thing is flying, right? What does that mean basically for altcoins? Well, that really depends on what Bitcoin dollar is doing, of course. But if this thing goes up, which is a good possibility right now, I'm not saying it will, I don't know, but it looks like a good possibility this time, right? It's totally different now. Then altcoins are getting kind of screwed against their Bitcoin pairs. And that's what I said before. If you look at a lot of altcoins, they seem to do fine, right? Fine. If you look at AVAX on this dollar pair, for example, well, it's not really looking fine, by the way, but you could say like, oh yeah, it's been arranging now, so it's going sideways. So why not dollar cost right now? All right. Yeah. But if you look on its Bitcoin pair, then it's making lower lows. Every time I shoot a video and I look at these altcoins, they are making lower lows as we speak. All right, so if you are stacked in dollars and you don't want to buy Bitcoin with it, then you could maybe buy a little bit of altcoins with it. I'm going to say that very carefully though, right? But then again, you can, if you want to make the most out of it, also buy Bitcoin when it's low, and then buy these altcoins with your Bitcoin. Because if you want to buy AVAX with dollars right now, well, there's still a huge risk to the downside, but still you're buying 40% higher than what it was. But if you want to buy AVAX with your Bitcoin, you're buying the low, right? And next week, or the week after, or the week after that, probably a new low again, because so far that's what's been going on for the last 1.5 years, right? So not so weird to think that that could go on for a couple of weeks or months. So yeah, that's the thing. And that, you know, I mean, AVAX is an example. There are always exceptions, but a lot of altcoins are getting completely wrecked still. I showed you in a couple of videos ago. There are altcoins that, especially altcoins with no real utility, like Cake, for example. Even on its dollar pair, it's really crashing, right? Cake is like 60% down from 2 months ago. If you look at the hacks, a lot of people like that, right? But also it came down in 2 months in like 80%, right? That was while Bitcoin was going up 20%. Altcoins get wrecked for 80%, right? And that's with the most speculative altcoins, of course, it's way more, right? Because Cake has not really a utility. Hex really has no utility. But also coins that do have a utility, like Moonbeam, still gets wrecked. Even the dollar pair is making new lows right now, let alone the Bitcoin pair, right? That just because it turned out not to be such a successful layer one. Although a lot of people were really bullish on it and they really went crazy on it, right? But ever since the high, it's now down 98% against Bitcoin, which is already down 60% or more. So, you know, price-wise, Moonbeam is wrecking people. So, well, I'm getting dragged in about how altcoins wreck you, but that's important to know because if I often get a lot of comments like, yeah, but you can just DCA, right? What does it matter? Or you don't know what you're talking about. And okay, then tell me what's up. But, you know, the things that I show you right here, they kind of show like, okay, but so far it hasn't really worked out buying altcoins, did it? Right? And of course, there are these success stories and that make people believe like, oh, it's a good time right now. Well, overall, the altcoin market is getting wrecked against Bitcoin, right? Overall, Bitcoin has been going up and overall altcoins are going down. So yeah, take your chances with that one altcoin that is doing fine. I don't know. So, but yeah, these are a couple of charts that I think are really important to take a look at. So definitely check that out for yourself. This is what you can all add to your own trading view. Do that, right? Do that, really do that. Then there are a couple of other charts as well. And one chart that I really like to show you is, but you have to have a subscription to this platform. It's quite expensive, but you know, I'm discuss this a lot in my videos, so you can also just checking out the channel. But that's the social metrics, right? Social metrics says how many people are watching YouTube about crypto, how many people are subscribing to these channels, following people on Twitter, analysts, exchanges, layer ones, etc. That's the red line, right? And the red line is going down. It's still going down. If you look at this, I mean, we are making lows as we speak. Like, yeah, we're going up a little bit right now, but it's nothing else than just a lower high so far, right? So it really has to break out right now. You see that people are losing interest. So you could say, yeah, I want to buy altcoins because an altcoin season is coming. But who is going to start that alt season if everybody is getting the hell out of crypto, right? The people that are already there, that's not new money, right? That's just money shifting around a little bit, but that's not going to make things really explode, right? That's not going to happen. So we need new money coming in, new people coming in, right? And that's what we got to wait for. Now, it's quite interesting though, because at the previous bear markets, this social metric, it was really sitting at the low right here. It was sitting at the low, right? In this bear market was also sitting at the low. We did not get there by far, right? By far we didn't get there. So what does it make that that's not happening right now? Well, if we turn off the layer ones, you'll see that nothing really changed, right? So layer ones on Twitter, okay, cool. If we turn off Twitter exchanges, nothing really changes as well. If we turn off Twitter analysts, okay, people are losing a little bit more interest in that as well, but nothing too crazy. If we turn off YouTube views, now we were a lot lower as well. So if we turn that on, we're getting a little higher. So people still watching YouTube, luckily for me. And if we turn off the subs, you'll see this. Right, so it's like it's a good combination of all of that. If we only, for example, take a look at the YouTube subs, you can see though that it's already sitting at the bottom, right? So there are no like that's funny, right? If you look at the YouTube views, for example, you see that it's quite high. So the people that are already on YouTube watching crypto videos, it's also going down. Even these people losing interest, right? But still pretty elevated compared to the average. But if we look at the YouTube subscribers, it's already way down. So you at least see that no new people are subscribing to YouTube channels. That's just not how it works. Yeah, that's quite funny if you ask me. Like, no new people are stepping in, and the people that are already there are slowly losing their interest, right? This also, you can see per channel, basically. If you look at the biggest crypto channels, Benjamin Cohen, BitBoy, Coin Bureau, Altcoin Daily, Crypto Banter, etc., you see that here in the bull market, they got like combined around 40,000 new subscribers per day, right? If you look at where we are right now, they're getting combined like... how much is this? 400,000, maybe 2,000, right? It's extremely low. It's extremely low. People are not, they are not in the space at the moment. And that's good, right? I mean, that's overall, that is what you want. Because you do see that every time the social metrics are that low, right? If you just look at everything, every time social metrics are that low, fuck happened to my chart right here? Let's do that again. Here we go. Don't let it scare you off, is what I'm trying to say. Like, no new people stepping in, it's over, it's over. Yeah, it's not really the case. Let's take the complete chart, by the way. This thing is really messing it up. If you look at the indicator summary, so that's the social risk plus the price metrics and all of that. Every time we are in this low area, like here, where people have no interest, it's also where the bottom is, right? This is the Bitcoin value, the blue line. It's also where the Bitcoin bottom is. Here's also where the Bitcoin bottom is. Here, Bitcoin bottom. here, Bitcoin bottom, right? Doesn't mean we cannot get lower though, right? That's what I'm trying to say. But the point is, every time we are that low, nobody has interest. But what happened after the bottom, we went up, of course, right? Therefore, so if you are here, right, you will get the best entry. So it's good to know that this area where we are right now is a good place to dollar cost. If you look at the really big picture, right? If you look at the total 3, for example, you put it off log, so you get a slightly other view on it. You do see, like, okay, we had the peak of the bull run, right? And we are maybe somewhere here. Could it hurt to already just buy here or here or here? No, overall you would have made pretty good gains, right? But if you zoom in on it, and that's not trying to pick the bottom, don't get me wrong, but look again in hindsight, look, it's basically a horizontal line. So it didn't matter where you bought it, right? August 2018, June 2020, anything in between didn't matter. But if you zoom in on it, you'll see that it does matter, right? Because you could have bought on a $30 billion market cap. You could also bought at a $100 billion market cap, right? That's a big difference. That's a really big difference, right? Especially if you ride that to the top, it depends. Are you going to make a 20x or are you going to make a 60x, right? And of course, if you buy it, are you going to ride the wave down first? Suffer temporary losses, maybe you make some stupid decisions based on that because you feel like shit and you have to have a lot of patience, or you don't try to time the bottom, but you play your timing a little better than that, right? And then you get a way better entry as well. So these are a couple of charts that I think are quite interesting when it comes to altcoins. Also, the Bitcoin dominance without stables. We just looked at the Bitcoin dominance over here. But this includes stable coins. If you take it without stable coins, you'll see this. That's the red line. You see this. It has been, well, fuck it. This is better for you. It has been going up, right? From, what is it? 42%. We're now sitting at 52%, right? It's been going up for 2 years already, right? So as long as Bitcoin dominance is still outperforming, I feel like, yeah, buying altcoins right now, is that so clever? And I think we could at least go here towards 60% on this chart. Between 57 and 60%, give or take. That's a lot more to go from there. So that's also when to buy altcoins, in my opinion. And then there's a website you should know about it. Look into bitcoin.com. You probably know this, maybe you don't. This provides you with a lot of on-chain data. It's a free tool, so that's very useful to look at. There is a lot you can check out. So definitely take your time, check out all these charts, right? Because you can also, for example, look at addresses with more than 1,000 Bitcoin, for example, right? And you can see how these addresses are growing. That's the orange line, right? Now, and you can come to your own conclusions when it comes to this, right? In a market where everything is going up, for here, for example, you see that the whales were dumping, right? But the market was going up. So the whales were already stepping out while retail was stepping in. And you could say like, okay, the whales sold a little too soon, of course, right? But there are no new whale wallets, really, right? You can see that right here. It's been going down. So whales are not accumulating right now. It's been going down. And that's something to keep your eyes on, because usually whales, they start to accumulate in a market that's been going sideways / up, right? But not when it's going down overall. So it's now getting a little more steady. I would say wait a little bit to see what these whales are doing right there. But that's one thing, right? That's one thing. You can also just look at this rainbow indicator. It gives you a little indication of where we are right now, right? And And then you can also see like, okay, in this bear market, for example, if you look at this, we went into the deep blue territory. We stayed there for a long while, right? Yeah, and if you then look where we are right now, we are in this blue territory again, but we are not that long as the previous times right there. So it gives you a little time as well. Now, yeah, to get back to the point though, this is my main leading indicator on when to buy altcoins, mostly. I don't want to buy at resistance. That's just it. I don't want to do that. Overall, the Bitcoin dominance looks like it could definitely break out this time. So why should I do that? You know, then the better thing is to just wait to see how this is going to play out. If it does go up, right, then you can decide to buy Bitcoin. And whenever this is really sitting higher, yeah, you can convert that Bitcoin into altcoins, because what is an alt season? An alt season is where altcoins are clearly outperforming Bitcoin, right? Even if we go down from here, I don't know if that's to be called, that's a mini alt season, right? But not really. You know, this was a really big alt season. This is when millionaires were made. A lot, right? This was an alt season. This was an alt season, crazy shit, right? If you now look at where we are, especially like this, feel like, yeah, basically you can trade this range, definitely. Overall, we're still sitting quite low, right? So this could definitely break up. And if we do get rejected right here, yeah, then it's maybe a good time to you know, to pick some up. Because you make money against Bitcoin, right? So maybe we go down right here because Bitcoin is having a major correction, right? That could be the case. Yeah, and if your altcoins are going down against dollar, that's still possible, of course. But if they go up against your Bitcoin, yeah, you can always, if we back down here, sell your altcoins for Bitcoin again. And once we go up, you make a sick-ass trade, right? That's also a possibility. But I'm not buying altcoins right now. I do think that if I look at this chart right here, a falling wedge also typically breaks out to the upside, right? Eventually we were in this wedge and we got up. We did not really, like in the wedge itself went up. We broke out to the downside right here. But at the end of the day, we went up, right? That's usually the case. I want to see how this plays out. I'm at least not buying altcoins right now. It could definitely happen that we will be sitting at the lower level. Yeah, maybe in July already. You don't know. But it could also happen that it will be the end of the year. This is the chart I should keep your eyes on if I were you. Most. And then the Bitcoin dominance. These are the most important charts for me. There's a lot more, of course. But every day I'm just trying to think like, okay, when I wake up, what do I check first? I check the Bitcoin price, I check the total 3, I check the Bitcoin dominance. I don't even look at my altcoins itself because, yeah, don't get me wrong, I have altcoins. But these are leftovers. These are things that I, you know, like not buying like crazy. But I'm also not going to sell it, even although I think that we are going down, right? Why? Well, I can be wrong. It's very simple. I don't know, man. So I'm also preparing for the fact that I'm wrong, right? That's also what you want to do. So yeah, and plus I have some altcoins, mostly for launch pads, and these are really rewarding me. Not even when it comes to the chart, but just, you know, for these launches that they do. So that's it. Sorry, long video. I noticed that I talked a lot, didn't say a lot. It's early in here. I'm not awake. I hope it was pretty useful anyway. I think tomorrow it's Sunday, so I will be back with a small cap Sunday video. So I'm gonna try to, you know, because it sounds a little hypocritical, like, you know, don't buy altcoins, and then a day later, oh, this altcoin is like, that's fucking weird. I know that, but it doesn't mean that you do actually have to buy that altcoin, of course. keep it on your radar. I mean, these are the periods where you do want to do your research, where you want to prepare, when you want to study the projects, where you want to whatever, right? Because when the bull run happens, you don't have a lot of time for that. So that's the period that we are in right now. So guys, thanks for watching. Like the video, stay tuned. And if you want to know when the crypto bull run is about to start, in my opinion, check out the video that's popping above right now. I posted it yesterday. It might be very interesting if you missed that. All right, check you later.